What's happening, guys? How's everyone doing out there? So tonight I thought I'd do a little live stream. So I've got to get my hands going, basically. I have been neglecting my hands quite a lot recently. I've been spending all of my time working on the app that you can see over to the left-hand side here. And I've not been practicing very much at all. I've got a gig coming up in a couple of weeks, doing marching snare. Obviously, I still do gigs on drum kit, but they play mash grip on drum kit. So I need to make sure my left hand starts building back up again, ready for that gig. And so I'm working some flam drags, and I'm working on some stuff on the app, and I figured, seeing as I've got the setup here to do this now, we'd have a go at doing a little live stream. So we're going to work flam drags. Grab your pad, grab your sticks. My goal tonight is to get up to about 150 beats per minute. We'll go through a couple of exercises. I'll show you what I use. I'll show the exercises that relate to flams over on the app, and we'll see if we can improve some of you guys as well as improving me. If you dig this, then I might do a few of these next week. I might do, I don't know, every other day or something, and see if we can get some new goals going. So if you've got any questions, leave it in the chat. Chat's popping up on my screen now. So as guys drop in, I'll do my best to answer any questions, but I'm going to get started and just do a little bit of playing. So to get going, to let a few more people drop in, let's do some eights. So I'm just going to go through this 8-hand exercise just to get warmed up. So both together, double stops, and then some singles. Just going back round again. Lefts, both. Singles. And we'll go back round one more time. There's a few more dropping in now. Let's explain what's going on in a minute, all right? So as I said, we're going to be using the Drumr app tonight. You don't need to have the Drumr app. Everything's going to be coming through this stream, right? I'm going to be working on flam drags. I want to talk to you about how I got flam drags down and how hopefully you guys are going to get them. If I take a flam drag and I loop it round, the best way that I've ever found of improving this is focusing on just one hand at a time. So what I do is I move my left hand, say to my leg, then I can focus on what the one hand is playing. And the one hand there is just playing this, isn't it? Well, the hard part of that is changing from the speed of the 3 to suddenly putting that little press at the end. Now, the other hard part is understanding the actual interpretation of that. How fast is it? How slow is it? Well, this is where this app is so valuable, because it's going to play it perfectly, so I've got something to listen to, and so you've got something to listen to, so we can lock in with it. So we've got this pattern going on. Right, I'll find the exercise on the app, and we'll have a little go at playing through. In fact, I'm going to search up builder. So on the app, I'm putting more and more of these builder exercises because it's something that I use all the time, really. Especially at the moment, I don't get to practice very much. So what I've got to do is make sure that certain rudiments and certain patterns I'm still able to do without having to do hours and hours and hours of practice. Well, builders tend to be the things that I'm going to do. Let's have one listen through, and then we'll start to talk about how we're going to play it. So we get a count in, and you can hear the right hand is playing it, then the left hand. And all we do after the 4 times of each, we do the flam drags. And that's that. Now the app's playing it absolutely perfect, so we're going to trust it and we're going to play in time with it. Now it's quite an awkward tempo, this beat. I've got to really hold on and not press too fast. Now what I want to do is I want to start to work on my speed a little bit, right? So what do? Well, I go into here. On this app, I've got a increase in tempo mode. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here. We're going to choose increase in tempo, and I'm going to try and work up to 150, as I said at the start. That's my goal today. So we're going to try and go from 105 beats a minute all the way up to 150. If you can hang with me. I'm sure some of you guys can blaze me and go way faster, but that's my goal today. If you can't hang, get yourself the app and just go a little bit slower. Or if you can't afford the app, or you don't have anything that you can play the app on, get a metronome, do the same thing. So you can see the dials down here. Look, what we've got down here is I've got how many reps am I doing? Well, I'm going to do 1 rep, so 1 repetition of the whole exercise, and I'm going to speed it up by, well, it's already set to 5. I like that, 5 beats per minute. So we're going 105 all the way to 150. We're starting way down to 105, so I've got to be careful. And as I get faster, I'm going to start to press more and more. So when I talk about press, we'll break that down a little bit, but I'm talking about something that we used to call back in the day speedo rolls, where we're literally, our hands are staying pointing downwards, and we're getting this motion as opposed to this motion. And we're basically using the rebound of the head. So my third stroke of the is more of a speedo stroke than a pulling up, right? So keep that in mind when you're pressing this. We're going nice and slow. Like I said, if you leave me comments, I believe they're going to come up on my screen. I'll check in the minute on the computer if they're popping up there. If you've got any questions, ask away and I'll do my best to answer. Let's have a go. Okay, it's going to go a little fast now, at 110. Okay, up a little more, 15. A little more, 20. Okay, a little bit more of a comfort zone for me now here. Lock in with that diddle on that app. 2, 3, 4. Okay, 130. Okay, our goal's 150, so let's see if we can get this 140. $45. And let's go for the 50. Awesome, so the app knows that we want to end at 150, so it's going to stop for us there. What we're going to do now is we're going to start to talk a little bit about how we're going to get even faster than that. So what we're going to try and work on is we're going to work some exercises, first of all, to implement those. So what I'm going to do, if I go in here and type in drag, I've got some exercises in here for flam drags for you already set up. So if we do up, down, flams, this is quite a cool one, right? So what we're doing is we're playing flam drags normal, where the diddle is the middle note of the 3. And we're moving it so that the diddle's at the start. So we're going to go. Now another way of thinking about that is the flamlet is on the first note. So that's that top line. But the second line has got those little upstrokes, right? So you guys who've never seen the app before, what you can do in here is you can go in and you can just loop 1 bar at a time. So if I loop this measure, obviously, you all know what that bar is already. So if I put a count in and I move up 1 bar, let's see if we can get. So that's my second barlet. That's the new part. Oh, I play better than that. So I'm going to have a go at playing the whole exercise. And I think you guys can follow along, all right? This is about me trying to sort these flams out, right? So guys, just dropping in. Basically, I've been neglecting my playing a little bit recently because I've been spending so much time trying to develop this app. I want to get my hands back going again, so I'm going to spend a few weeks now going through some of the exercises. I might do some more of these live streams. If you enjoy this, grab your pads, join in. I'll just show you what works for me and what hopefully is going to work for some of you guys as well. Tonight we're looking at flam jags. Goal was 150, and then we're going to push beyond that now. So let's slow this down a little. Let's go into normal tempo mode, 120. How's that? Still pretty quick, isn't it? Let's go down a little bit slower. Okay, we're going to slow that down to 110. Here we go. Okay, so the idea is to lock in with this metronome. I can't quite hear the metronome because of the setup I've got here to do this stream, so I'm going to whack these earphones in, have it nice and loud. Here we go. Let's try it quick. So 150 was a goal, wasn't it? Let's try 150. This is going to be hard. This end section is going to be blazing. So it's nice and low. Remember what I said about the rolls? We're kind of digging in. I hate using that word, but we're digging in for those low diddles rather than pulling up. So when I'm playing faster flam jags, I'm not high. I'm keeping it real low. Let's see. Let's try that again. So that end section, man, that is a nasty bit of work. Now, if I'm struggling with that, which I am, what I would again do is I figure out what one hand's doing. So it's that part there. It's a loud and a quiet, isn't it? Now I know if I sit in place for 5 minutes now, I was going to want to watch a stream of that, but if I played, my hands would soon get used to that, and all of a sudden then, going to get easier. So I cannot stress enough how important it is that what you do when you're playing something with two hands is you figure out what one hand's doing, then do the other hand. There's many drum lines now that talk about these primer exercises. They're all talking about the same sort of thing as what I'm talking about right now. So what else should we have a look at tonight? Okay, someone just put a message. This exercise is harder than it looks. And I felt like, yeah, it is. It is quite hard actually. So other exercises on here for flam jags. Let's have a little look what we've got here. Drip is another nasty one, right? I'm not going to break down all of drip, right? This is one for you to go and check out. But drip used to be one of my sort of favourite exercises. So if you think of a paradiddle, right? We've got a right, we've got a left, we've got a right, we've got a right. Well, if you take a flam jag and we do a right-handed one, we've got that. Then we do a left-handed one. Well, now we have to do two right-handed ones in a row to get our paradiddle, because we've got right, left, right, right. And then we do the same off the left hand. Left, right, left, left. And that's a whole different motion to a standard one. So again, if you want to get good at those, what you do? Well, exactly what we've just done before. Figure out what one hand's doing and practice that. Maybe the same left. Which is hard. It's a single and then a press. Now, if you've never done these before, these kind of presses, another way of practicing this is if we take flam drags, and instead of doing a diddle, we go and we press. So 1 press 3, 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 1 press 3. That's the same physical motion and muscles being used as when I'm playing fast, because I'm not lifting, I'm pressing down. So I'm always playing, but I'm just not lifting. So it's the same with the flam presses. that's a lot harder than it looks. All right, so we've got a flam, a press, a right, a flam, a right, a press. That's a nasty one, but that's a nice way of improving these. Right, so yeah, so I was just talking about drip flam drags. So if I go into drip flam drags, rather than teaching the whole exercise, we're not do all that tonight, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly show you the start, because I think it's quite a fun one, and it's definitely a cool one for us to play. Let's open up a few bars. If we do, say, no, I'm not going to do single measure mode. We're going to do, we'll do multi-measure mode, and what we're going to do is we're going to try bar 1, bar 2. So you can see that hopefully, right? And it's probably small on your screen, but you can see that, right? So we've got a right-handed one, a left-handed one, then 2 right-handed ones. And then a left-handed one, a right-handed one, 2 left-handed ones. So some people call this slow paradiddle because it's pow, did, do, pow, did, all. It's a real nice exercise. Now I'm going to get that to loop around, so I'm going to put the count in each time. 80 beats a minute, that's a little slow. We'll take it up to maybe 100. So join in, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's take that up a little. Now I'm fighting for a big turn. Because I know it looks cool. But I'm trying to keep the taps nice and low. Two, 3, 4. Right, let's take this way up. Let's give you a something to aim for. Now this exercise is an old exercise. Like years ago, a long time ago, I marched Blue Devils, and I was lucky enough that I marched the year with Roger Carter marched. And I remember this exercise was one of the exercises that everyone used to play on practice pads. Roger used to play it. There's a guy called Matt Hanson used to play this ridiculously fast. He was a tenor player, and the year I marched, he came off tenors and went on to snare. And if you want to see people with fast hands, this is an exercise to really give you those fast hands, all right? Check the whole thing out. You can do it with flam drags, cheeses, 5 strokes, whatever you want, all right? Okay, but tonight is all about these speedy flam drags. So let's get back to Builder. By the way, guys, if you've got any questions, then just drop them in. Everyone's gone quiet on me tonight. If there's anything you want me to go through or show you, I'll be more than willing to. Right, let's do some more flam drags. Right, so let's open this up. So we're going to go back to this exercise again. We're not going to go this time all the way down to 105. That's where we started before. So this time we're going to start at 120. Now what you've got to do, if you really want to push, so my goal was 150 tonight, right? I want to play flam drags at 150. Well, to do that, well, I've got to be able to play it at, say, 160. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go from 120 to, I'm going to push to 170 actually, because that's where I'm probably going to collapse. Right, so I'm going to go 125 to 170. And what I'm going to do is every time we do 1 rep, I'm going to speed up by 5 beats a minute, and let's see if we can hang. So just join in with me. Oh. Now we don't need the counting at the start anymore, right? Because we're going to get an actual one, right? So okay, we're going up again. 130. Okay, I'm feeling warm. If it goes fast, and I'm going to play a little lower, right? again, a little lower. My left doesn't like that last one. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to start speeding up. $60. Nearly. Just right, so I can hang on to the paradiddles, but I can't quite get the left hand. That diddle's not perfect. But my flam jacks are definitely getting a little faster. So the whole concept really of what we're doing here is trying to break down one hand at a time. Now this pad's a little bit more bouncy, right? So I'm thinking that I can play a little bit faster on this one. Feels a little bit more like my snare drum. Squeeze one. So guys, if you've got any questions, throw them in. I'm going to knock this on the head in a minute because my hands are aching and it's like midnight here in the UK, but chatting and drumming is a challenge. Yes, it's so true. Trying to talk and read comments on a screen, man, power to these people who do streaming all the time. Twitch and all this kind of stuff, man. It's crazy because you're trying to concentrate on what you're doing and at the same time you're having to think about what's popping up on the screen in front of you and can people hear you and can people see you and all that kind of stuff. So throw me some questions in, fellas. So what am I going to do now? Well, flam jacks, once I start to get the speed up, I really want to push the speed. I want to go right to my limit. Right now at the moment my limit is about somewhere there. Now, the way that I'm going to get faster, I just know from experience years ago of being a lot faster than this, is I'm going to bring out the second note of the flam jack. So instead of going flam, diddle, tap, I'm going to practice going. I'm bringing that second note out. Why? Because when I'm playing this fast, the hard bit is not the flam, it's the little drag in there. So by being able to do this, that little lift, I'm going to find it way easier when I'm playing the flam jack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a low flam, I'm going to lift just a little, and a low flam, and lift just a little to get this. I'm going to do that for like 30 seconds. When it starts to hurt, hurting is a bad thing, right? But what starts to happen then is it starts to make me realise which muscles are over tensing, which ones are using too much. Then the only thing my hands are going to do then is they're going to start to relax because they've got no choice, because otherwise they're going to cramp up. So just here I've got a little bit of tension, so I want to get rid of that. Now what I'm going to start to do is I'm going to go back to my normal flam jazz, but I'm going to keep that same vibe. Getting there. Now another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the transition from something I can already do, like tap, what are they called, like tap threes I suppose. This pattern, I'm going to speed it up. So in my head I can start to get that idea. How it's going to feel when I then start to put the flams in. Nice there. Potato, thanks for your comment, man. Appreciate it. All right, guys, so I'm going to leave us there. Right, so if you're enjoying these, let me know, because I'd like to come back and do a few more of these. I've got the setup in here now to be able to do lots of the streaming. I'd love to tell you guys more about the Drumr app, because I really think that it's going to make massive difference to some of you guys. Just having a reference of being able to know what to play, how to play something perfect is massive, because I've taught so many people and I teach them in a lesson and they go away coming back. They leave the lesson knowing how to play flam jazz like this. And 3 weeks later, I see them again and they're playing like this. Not realizing they're playing it incorrectly, completely wrong interpretation. That's where the app's going to come in. It's going to give you the perfect interpretation for everything you need to be able to master the drum. If you are enjoying the app, please let us know. If you're hating the app, please let us know. If there's things you want us to change in the app, please let us know. If you're loving it, give us a 5-star rating, will you? You made this exercise. Yeah, I've got some questions coming on. Let me quickly have a look at this. So I didn't make this exercise. So this exercise has existed for, I don't know, as long as people have probably been playing drums. I made the version that you can see on the app where we then do into flam jazz, but I can't claim ownership of that. That's like someone claiming ownership of like the G chord or something like that, right? I'm sure that millions of people have played that before. Okay, cool. Right, we're going to knock on the head. So appreciate your comments. I'm sure a lot of guys will be watching this after it's gone live, so I'm going to go to bed, and I'll look at doing some more videos for you guys real soon. Like I said, let me know if you like the idea of me doing this every few days or every day or every other day. Maybe it's something we can do. Thanks for watching. See you in a bit.